All right, so we've just aided Nikolai back to his cabin.
Yep.
Along the way, as we did, there was at least a few villagers who saw the fact that he's injured and that we were clearly assisting him.
Yep.
And clearly, that's probably going that gossip will spread like wildfire. You suspect in the current
In the
situation.
village? Yeah.
Yeah, especially with what's currently going on. All right, so after we see him into his house,
Yep.
I say to you, well, it seems like we have some work to do.
Yeah, let's go do that.
No time like the present.
Oh, we got some more important thing to do tonight, so let's do this while the sun's still up.
All right. Yeah. This entire thing probably didn't take more than a couple hours.
Yeah, well, it's putting in the mid-afternoon now, so
Yeah. I say, so how are we going to approach this?
well,
Because there are a number of ways we can.
personally I thought of just ripping the front door off.
That is one way of doing it.
But let's just try being peaceful. Go
Okay.
against my nature.
No. Needless to say, neither both of us find these types of traps distasteful.
Yeah. How many were there? Six?
Six.
All right. Instead of knocking on the door, I'm going to pound on the door.
With your staff.
Doesn't matter.
Says, okay, I'm just thinking like you're not turning into a giant ape to pound on the door. Just you're just gonna.
No, I wouldn't fit through the door.
All right.
Would have done Bigby's hand and just smashed the door in.
Yeah.
But for the moment, I am going to try and be somewhat pleasant.
Mhm. All right. You pound on the door heavily.
Yes.
There doesn't seem to be an answer.
All right. So much for the pleasant approach. I burn a fifth level spell slot.
Okay. All right.
Cast Bigby's hand.
You conjure Bigby's hand.
And I punch the door in.
Make an attack roll. That went from 1 to 10 quite quickly.
Do I get an advantage because it's an inanimate object?
It doesn't have a very high armor class, but no.
Well, I definitely beat its armor class.
All right, roll damage, which for the punch I believe is 48.
Isn't there a modifier on there too?
Uh,
Oh, I love D8s.
Bigby's hand, not the D&D Beyond version. So this is the clenched fist. No,
Yep.
48 force damage.
Well, it's still an awfully nice number.
All right.
28 points of damage.
Yeah, that's quite close to max.
Yeah. A six, two sevens, and an eight.
All right. So the fist comes back, it punches the door in.
Yep.
There's a loud crashing sound as you shatter the door and probably damage the frame around it.
Yep.
And yeah, needless and well, that was quite surprisingly. Well, needless to say, there's a great deal of alarm in the village all of a sudden.
Yep.
But surprisingly, no one seems to doesn't seem to be much of a stirring within the Hunter's Lodge itself.
Okay. I'm going to use the Bigby's hand as an interposing hand.
Yep.
So, and I'm going to walk into their common area.
All right. So a giant, glowing, ethereal hand precedes you
Yep.
as you march in. I follow behind you in your giant magical hand.
Yep.
As we enter into the common area, and we see five passed out hunters.
They drunk themselves silly.
Yeah, and I've decided to roll to see if they were going to wake up to. Well, first I rolled to see if they were awake, and they were not.
Yeah.
And I was gonna see if you breaking their door down woke them up, and then they rolled a natural one. So yeah, they're asleep, clearly passed out and drunk. I said, well, this might make things easier.
Yeah. All right. Before my Bigby's hand wears off, which it will soon,
Yeah.
any other doors in here?
The other doors. Yes, there are three. One is open.
Well,
That one leads. We look in there. That leads into what looks like a kitchen area for food preparation, probably for a pantry.
yeah.
They
Rip the
probably that was open because that's where probably all the ale they've been drinking has been coming from.
yeah, rip the other two off their hinges.
All right, in short succession, you tear the doors off the hinges. After
Yeah.
which point, I'm just
Big,
gonna,
yeah, Bigby's hand is gonna run its course.
like, gotta be kidding me. All right, they're passed out drunk because that's a second natural one in a row I rolled to see if this woke them up.
Okay, tie him up.
Yeah, I'm not even going to question that.
Okay. And
We
then
drag them all into a pile
yep. And then I'm gonna
and we
search.
tie it into a pillar basically with one of the ropes of the rope climbing.
Yeah. And then I'm gonna search the place looking for more bear traps.
All right, roll investigation check. There were so many ways this could have gone. This was not one of the ones I had in mind.
23. Actually, no. 24.
Okay. Yes, well, 1 point of difference isn't going to make too big of a difference. It's good enough.
Yeah.
Well, one of the doors you ripped off led to basically the basement or cellar for all intents and purposes.
Mhm.
And while we go down there, we find a large work table,
Yeah.
various tools, and basically a large chest with which there are completed bear traps, and there are clearly some materials in the works for making some new one more.
All right. Take all the bear traps I can find.
All right. The chest is quite heavy, which is what is in there at the moment.
I'll just open up the chest and pull them out individually.
Okay. They're heavy too.
No, I know.
Yeah.
Don't have Bigby's hand anymore.
No.
I mean, between the two of us, we can carry one out at a time.
Yes. All right. So because they're so thoroughly drunk and passed out,
Yep.
we find 12 completed bear traps in there.
All right.
So a dozen more to the half dozen we've already seen destroyed. And there are some like in process being built ones too, but I don't know if you want to bring those too.
Yep. Bring everything
All right.
and the tools.
All right.
And then what I want to do. Usually these places have a rain barrel outside. I'm gonna get a bucket of water.
Yeah.
And I come in, and the main guy, what's his name again?
Halvar.
Alvar. I'm gonna throw a bucket of water in his face.
All right. I'm gonna
That,
roll to see if this wakes him up. I'm gonna give him advantage this time.
that might wake him up.
Yeah. Yeah, that does.
Yep.
You splash him with water, and he wakes up tied and takes everything in, and sees you there, and sees what's been done to his hunter's lodge, basically, all in a couple of seconds.
Yep.
He
I'm gonna
doesn't look happy, needless to say.
pull up a bench or a chair. I'm gonna sit in front of him.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say, I did not appreciate the fact that you set all these bear traps around that altar and didn't bother letting us know. That was very unkind of you. And also, we have had a chat with a certain spirit of your forests, and we know what you've been up to. And I point to the pile of bear traps
Yeah.
and partially put together bear traps and the tools to make more bear traps.
Yes.
And so we came to an agreement with your spirit. That agreement is these are all going to be destroyed and you're not going to do this anymore.
Says, but without those traps, it says we need new hunting methods to try and make it through another harsh winter. It says we won't survive without them.
Well, you're not going to survive with them because that spirit is going to kill you all.
Technically, we don't know that, but yes, that's a likely
Oh,
outcome.
that's what I can tell.
Yeah.
And by the way, I point to all the doors destroyed. This is something that we could do with ease. And I would be very hesitant to take on such a powerful being. And you certainly could not do anything to it. I'm fabricating this, obviously, because I have
Roll an intimidation
no
check.
idea.
What?
Because I have no idea.
Yeah. Roll an intimidation check.
All right.
Well, we do have some idea, which is why this isn't deception. Because for the most part, you're telling the truth.
Yeah, most part.
Yeah.
Well, with my wonderful charisma, that comes to a 15.
Needless to say, he is rather cowed by everything. I probably should have given you advantage.
Woohoo! Uh,
Assume
still,
it's still the 15.
still a 15, yeah. Well,
All
I'm
right.
gonna have -1.
Yeah.
You take what you
Needless to say, this is sinking in that he doesn't have much of a choice in the matter.
No, you do not have a choice. You can be what I would call skilled hunters and feed your people. That will not be a problem. Resorting to traps to not just harm animals, but to decimate their populations, and also apparently trying to kill Nikolai, which I don't think is going to go over very well, by the way. You're going to have to really work hard to win back the favor of these villagers, especially after we
Especially after we tell them that's what you did.
exactly after we inform them that this is what you've been up to. So, do we have an agreement that you're going to stop doing this?
I'm going to. He says he basically is acquiescing because he has no choice in the moment. I'm going to roll for him. Roll insight, and actually, I'm going to roll insight as well.
Good rolls are over.
Oh, what
Seven,
did you roll?
7.
Plus your wisdom. Oh, it's only a +1.
Oh, plus wisdom. Sorry, I was thinking charisma for some reason. 9.
9. Okay. Yeah, mine's much higher.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Uh, he's furious. You can tell with this at this situation, but he has no choice in the matter.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, uh, we are going to, get a wagon. Oh, someone's saying hi.
Yeah. Hello, Tobias.
And then we're going to take all these bear traps, and you're going to come along with us because I want you to witness the power of this spirit.
Oh, we're bringing him along, are we?
Oh, yeah, tied up. He may survive this. Who knows? All right. So while they're all tied up,
Yeah.
I'm going to go to somebody that has a wagon and horses.
Yep. There is a stable in town, so that's easy enough to do.
Yep. And then what I'm going to do is load all this crap up, including him tied
Yeah.
up.
I assume we're going to explain to everyone what's going on.
Yep. And I said, we are going to do this the old school way. We're going to take him to the altar and see what the spirit has to say about his honesty.
Hmm.
He may not come back.
I assume you're also explaining that what actually is
Yeah,
causing
I
this.
explained the whole problem, what their whole situation is, why this is all happening to them. Explaining that these guys are the problem, and I'm not thoroughly convinced of his integrity here.
Yeah.
So we're gonna, as we trundle through the village, telling everybody everything,
Yeah.
stop by Nikolai's place. Say, Nikolai, I think we have a resolution here. Would you like to come along?
Um, at this point, he trusts us enough. We think he trusts us enough to t see this through, and I think he's promised to take it a little easy on his leg, considering his injuries.
Okay. Uh, can we take this cart all the way there?
Yes.
All right. We head to where we were,
Yep.
drive the cart up,
Yep.
take all of the bear traps and paraphernalia for making more bear traps,
Yeah.
On the altar.
Yep.
Does anything happen?
Well, the wind picks up again, and we feel that presence in the forest. It seems angrier this time, and we see a bunch of green glowing eyes looking in from all, basically all corners of the forest as it and the green glow comes over the runes again. And much like last time,
By the way,
it,
I'm making sure that I'm
that Halvar sees all this.
I'm making sure he's paying attention.
Yeah. Well, he watches as everything he's worked to build corrodes and rusts and crumbles and blows away as dust, as even faster than before, all of these tools and traps just wither away under nature's will.
All right. He should be trembling by this point.
Yeah. And then we hear another sound.
All right.
Heavy footsteps.
Okay. Pat him on the back. Good. You get to meet your forest spirit now, buddy.
Yeah.
I take him off the wagon,
Yeah.
bring him over by the altar, step back a bit.
Yeah. And stepping into the forest from the other side is an exceptionally large humanoid made entirely of plant matter. He is, it does. You're rolling an Arcana check, I assume.
Ugh, terrible. 17.
17. Terrible. Neither of us recognize this creature. It walks up. It looks like humanoid, but its body's made entirely of tree bark and moss and plants.
Yeah.
And it's got the humanoid body until you get to its head, in which case it has looks like basically the skull of like a deer with antlers coming up, and it's got a mane of hair, well, not hair, but leaves, which acts exactly like a long mane of hair, and it has a very large staff, which looks vaguely familiar, similar to what
Oh, they thought
Nikolai's is, except this one is very much a looks like a living piece of wood that actually has flowers in it, and it has bright in the sockets of the deer skull green fiery eyes that are looking directly at Halvar.
okay. I command the
Rope.
uh, elvish rope to untie him.
Yeah,
Throw that back in my bag of holding.
yeah,
I say to the I
I'm
say
going
to
to
the
roll to see what Halvar is reacting to this now that he's free.
I say to the forest spirit, Halbert here says he's willing to make peace. I don't know if I believe him. Do you?
Before you even finish that sentence, Halvar steps up and turns and runs.
Okay.
The you don't the spirit raises its hand and points at him almost imperiously,
Yeah.
and suddenly out of the forest, the sky goes dark as countless crows and ravens fly up into the sky and all come down in a diving pattern very reminiscent of the birds, except this is actually terrifying.
Yeah. These ones actually can do damage, I bet.
All right, yeah, so he does get a saving throw for this.
Uh,
Well, a 10 doesn't save.
can't imagine, no.
All right. You're getting a glimpse of what could have happened if we fought this thing. That is not, and there we go. Yep. Yeah, that's all my d8s. Well, there's a couple ones. All right, so the murder of crows descends on Halvar and starts clawing and pecking and slashing, just basically perforating him as they basically plummet on top of him.
Yeah,
And he takes yeah, a grand total of 49 points of slashing damage.
that's a bit. Is there
And when
anything left of him?
crows fly back, uh he's a bloody corpse on the ground.
Yeah.
Needless to say, nature's justice is rather primal.
Yeah. I say to the forest spirit, are we good now? Can the village continue in peace?
The fiery green glow of its eyes dies down to more almost, it's cat-like irises almost. And it turns and walks off. It doesn't answer, but you feel that presence and all of the eyes of all the predators in the forest going away. And as we leave, we notice it does not leave tracks,
All right.
despite its size.
Let's pick up the bloody corpse, toss it in
Yep.
the back of the wagon,
Yep.
head back to town.
Yeah, someone's gonna need to watch this.
Hey, not our job.
Yeah.
And I'm going to head to the center of town
Yep.
and in a loud voice, going to say, everybody, gather around,
Okay.
except the kids. They don't.
Except the kids.
Yeah, kids shouldn't see this.
All right. You bring the corpse on the cart into the town.
Yeah.
People are, needless to say, not necessarily pleased by this. Say,
Ah, and with Nikolai here,
yeah.
I will explain to them that, well, the forest spirit seems to be appeased for the moment, as long as these crimes do not continue. I know it's rough sometimes getting enough food for the winter, but to help out with that, um, my friend here and I will supply you with some money that you can go and purchase some supplies while you get your axe back together as far as proper hunting methods and lay in some supplies.
All right. So you're giving them some money to travel to other towns, basically, to buy stuff from.
Buy some food.
Yeah, because obviously giving them money doesn't do anything for the village itself if they with what they currently have.
Yeah. So you can trade with nearby villages, um, buy food, see yourself through the winter, allow the forests to regenerate, go back to proper hunting practices. At which I'm looking directly at the stupid hunters.
They're not here.
Oh,
They're still passed out, remember?
all right. 5 more buckets of water.
Four. There's only four more.
Oh, 4 more.
Yeah, there was five in total.
Drag them out, untie them,
At which point they are horrified at what they see.
and explain to
The good
them.
news is that probably sobers them up quite quickly.
Explain to them how this happened. And if you had decided to go hunt this thing, you would look like that now.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't exactly try very hard, did it?
No. So, are we all in agreement when looking at the hunters?
Needless to say, they are terrified into sobriety at the moment
Yeah.
and are definitely in no position to uh, be defiant at all.
All right. How much money do you think we should give these guys for this?
I don't know. How much do you want to give them?
100 gold pieces?
All right. So 50 each from each of us?
Sure.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be more than sufficient.
Yeah.
All right. So, needless to say, that's dealt with relatively quickly and cleanly as we hand out the money. And Clearly, someone's going to need to wash this cart and bury the, the body.
Yeah, not us.
Yeah. We have something else we have to deal with in a couple of hours.
Yeah.
But hey, do you have inspiration at the moment?
No.
You can have it back for handling that so neatly and entertainingly. Yeah, and just so we're clear, what we saw the forest spirit do there
Yeah.
was one of its legendary actions.
Oh, that would have been bad. Well, we have taken on tough creatures, but
Yes.
I don't see any point in doing
No. But
that.
just considering that's basically all we're probably going to be seeing of it for the remainder of this session, I thought I'd say put that out there.
Yeah, attacking a creature of that size in its lair.
Yeah,
Yeah,
domain. Yeah.
and it can do that every other round. Every
Well, no, not this is it. It costs more than one, but yeah, it is one of the options it has.
yeah,
I
and,
mean, we'd be fighting it in the heart of its domain, with surrounded by predators that it can call on.
and all we have backup are these morons.
Yeah,
God.
yeah. Oh, it also had the impaling roots it can do as well.
Yeah.
But I thought I'd show something else it could do.
Cool. Oh, that's fine. Well, I didn't want to fight it anyway.
Yeah. So, however, we're not done yet because we have a promise to keep.
Yes, while we're waiting for the sun to go down.
Yes, we can take a short rest if you want.
Yeah. Actually, yeah, I'll take a short rest. Get my fifth level spell back.
Yeah. So with that, I'm at full health now,
Yep.
which is
And
fun.
take a Nikolai.
And
Do you
I'll get back my third level spell slot that I cast.
do you have any Mandrake root?
I will roll. That is very high. He does indeed, and consider he's willing to part with it, considering we've definitely helped him put things right here, as far as he's concerned.
I'll buy it off you.
Uh, it, it says it's not necessary, but if that is what we want, that he's willing to accept that.
Well, the village does need food for the winter.
Yeah. All right. He has three mandrake roots that he's willing.
Woohoo! How many is he willing to get rid of?
He's willing to sell to give us all of it, given how well we've done here. He's quite
Hey,
happy with the situation.
yes, got rid of a rival if nothing else.
He's willing to see this as he's willing to accept payment, but he's also willing to see this as basically our reward for assisting the village.
I give him an extra 50 gold pieces just to
All
split the
right.
difference.
Needless to say, that is at a heavy discount for what Mandrake Root normally goes for, but he's not complaining. You can add three Mandrake Root to your character sheet.
Alrighty. Gonna be making some potions next little while.
Yeah. So we take our short rest,
Yep.
and we're nearing sundown.
So let's go back to visit mom.
Yeah, Titania or Tatiana, I guess. Before we finish, I make sure to cast Mage Armor myself because I haven't had it cast the entire time. But we weren't really in any combative situations, but I suspect this is going to be one.
Yeah, I suspect so.
Yeah.
I don't think whatever this thing is going to acquiesce to our saying, don't do this anymore.
No.
All right. Guess we sit and wait.
All right. So she's going to sit up with us
Yeah.
because
Once this starts, you
yeah.
need to make yourself absent
Yeah.
because this thing is going to be violent, I suspect.
All right. Before we go any further, I'm just asking: are you casting any spells in preparation for this, or is it just my Mage Armor we're casting?
I have no preparative spells.
All right.
Well, I do, but not ones that
Not
can.
long-term ones.
Yeah, not like mage armor.
All right. So we wait. The sun sets,
Yep.
and shortly after, Natasha comes out of her room, basically. Literally walks out and opens the door. and is basically dressed as we left her, and her eyes are open, but she's walking forward. And we've heard tell of people who sleepwalk. This is kind of a similar state almost to what she's in at the moment.
She's in a
She's
trance of some kind.
Yeah, she's awake but not consciously aware of us.
Yep.
And she's going right over to basically where the fireplace is, which leads up to the chimney. And she starts saying, Victor, Victor, are you there? And in response, we see the flames literally in the fireplace start to smolder and burn up a little bit as a bunch of smoke and embers comes down the chimney. And that cloud takes shape into a young man, which Tatiana points out does indeed look like Victor.
All right.
All right, I want each of us to make an investigation, basically, in check.
I'll say it's Arcana anyway. 26.
All right. Needless to say, when I roll above a natural one, both of us can see through this. This is an illusion, and
Yes.
a rather unusual one. The form of the figure is not just an illusion in the sense that it's like see-through. It's a moving cloud in the shape of a person of smoke and fiery embers. And in the center of that, we see a shape moving, a fiery shape,
What kind of shape?
a very snake-like shape.
All right, a fire snake.
So we can roll an Arcana check for this.
Oh, wait. 29.
Yeah, needless to say that I rolled a 23. Both of us are aware, mostly from folklore more than anything else, that fire snakes are fiery serpents. They have a few other names.
Yeah.
They are sometimes mistaken for shooting stars in the night sky or balls of fire that moves through the air or will-o'-the-wisps, but they are different. They are they're demons essentially. They're fiends
Yeah.
that take the form of, well, usually grieving widows who
Yeah.
have lost their loved ones, usually their spouse or husband, and assumes the form of that through illusion and basically brings gifts, which inevitably are illusions, which are always, and I'm being literal here, always horse manure, it turns out.
Yeah.
And basically as it grows stronger as she grows weaker. So basically it is like a parasite.
Yep. Feeds
Just
the
one
body.
that lives outside a host.
So we're still in the house, right?
We're still there. Basically, yes. We can see this happening now.
Well, I tell mom to.
Yeah. And probably we should try and get the girl out of here too.
Yeah. I'm not sure she's going to go willingly, but try and drag your daughter as well.
Yeah. And we're going to step
Roll.
forward to deal with this, I assume.
Yep.
And,
Miss-
oh, we're going straight for initiative?
Well, we have to kill this thing.
Yep. So you want to attack it right away.
Yeah.
All right. Roll for initiative. Wow. Even with its amazing dexterity, that's low. What'd you roll?
Dirty 20.
All right. So you're going first,
Yep.
followed by me with an 18.
Woohoo! That's not allowed.
And then our then fiery serpent with a 10,
All right.
despite its amazing dexterity.
Well, I can't cast any fire spells on it, though I don't really want to blow
What's your hit point total?
107.
All right, let's have that down here. And I have mage armor. All right, and you. Yeah, and you have that many hit points.
How many?
Yeah, I'm not giving that away. All right. Um, needless to say, it wasn't expecting this.
No.
So that probably takes into account its poor initiative. And I rolled for it, and it is surprised by this.
You a surprise round?
Yep.
Bonus.
Well, basically, it's surprised, so it doesn't get to act on the first round of initiative.
Yep, that's fine by me.
You're up first.
I burn a meta magic point.
Okay.
And I twin cast Chromatic Orb, set to cold.
You're setting it to cold, so you release two, for the first time, I think, cold, blistering blue spheres of icy magic at it. All right, make 2 attack rolls.
I'm going to re-roll that natural 1.
Yep.
Well, I get +8 now, right?
Yes.
21 hit.
All right, that hits.
And unfortunately, the other one's a 12.
That one misses. So roll damage for the one that hit. Yeah, twin casting doesn't always work out for you, it seems.
No, well, at least one of them hit.
Yeah.
For 14 points of damage.
All right. So, as the illusory fiery figure was about to open its mouth to begin speaking to the girl,
Yep.
you release your 2 chromatic orbs, one of which strikes the wall and blasts against it, leaving a frost pattern on the wall, and the other one strikes into it, detonating the illusory cloud that it formed of smoke, ash, and embers is dispersed in the cloud of steam and freezing cold that hits when you hit this thing, and it does not like the cold. You can tell it screams like a hissing snake and like steam escaping. It takes more damage than you expected. Woohoo!
You're up.
Yes, and it is my turn.
It seems to be weak to cold.
And yes, I saw that. Alright, the thing is, most of my big cold spells aren't good to use inside an enclosed space with innocent bystanders, so.
Yeah, because they're still here, right?
There we are, still here. So, alright, it didn't seem too hard to hit, but do I want to... Do I want to try a ray of... Yeah, I'm going to try hitting it with a ray of frost.
There you go. What's your other portent?
It's a 2.
Oh, never mind.
I told you I used the good one on on Contact Other Plane.
Okay.
Natural 20.
Oh, double damage.
No. Double damage twice.
Oh, quadruple damage, that's right. So
All right.
that
2d8.
times 4.
Yep. All right, so one of those is a 1, but it's 7 times 2 is 14 times 2 is 28 again.
Wow. That's taken 56 points of damage. In the surprise round.
Yep. And yeah. Okay.
Back to the regular round now.
So its turn comes up. It's surprised.
Yep.
So it doesn't get to do anything this round.
Round 2.
Round 2, we come to you.
Burn another meta magic point.
Yeah, it's already looking hurt.
Chromatic orb again. Twice.
Cool.
Cold. With a 17 hit?
Yes.
2 hits.
If you roll well enough, this could be it.
30 on the first one.
30 damage total.
Yep.
So 15 times 2. Yeah, that's a lot of damage.
30 on the second one. Another 60.
Okay, so in quick succession, after we hit it with several rays of frost, rays of freezing cold, um, in quick succession, we this thing, well, it's made of fire. It gets hit with lots of extreme cold, and there's clouds. There's a cloud of steam, and well, some smoldering, now doused excrement that hits the ground because which was the gift it was bringing.
Yep.
As we again feel its presence leave this plane of existence.
All right, we banished it.
Yes, it is a fiend. We know that, so
Yep.
it's not dead.
No. Can it do? All right, Arcana check. Can this thing come back with relative ease, or is it gone for a while?
Roll your contract. I'll roll as well.
Oh, that's terrible. 18.
All right. Fiery serpents are not exceptionally powerful fiends,
No.
and the stronger a fiend is, the stronger it can reconstitute itself on its home plane of existence. This is one of the more lower end fiends. It's not a devil. It's not technically a demon, though it is in the same more mentality as a demon.
Yeah.
So it's not from the abyss. It's not from the nine hells. It's from the other evil planes of existence. So it's a weaker creature. It could very easily reconstitute itself eventually,
Yeah.
but there's some issues with that. It's closer to almost like reincarnating in some ways, especially for the weaker ones.
Hmm.
So it will reconstitute itself in time, but it may not even remember this girl and here's the other thing, it may not even reconstitute itself in her lifetime. It can take decades, and for weaker ones, it can even take a century or more. So
There you go.
in all, from a mortal point of view, in all intents and purposes, it's dead.
All right.
But yes, from an immortal point of view, yes, it will eventually reconstitute itself. But it could take a very long time.
How does she respond to this?
Immediately, like a trance has been broken,
It,
but she's confused and she is weak, so her mother has to literally help her stand because
yeah.
we suspect the spirit was had some hold on her that was bringing her over here, and we also suspect that in some ways the spirit was, or at least was getting a sort of invitation from the girl to enter the house because we know that certain evil spirits have difficulty doing that. And as we see, this one wasn't terribly strong. We took it out in a matter of seconds.
Yeah.
Admittedly, we took it by surprise, which I rolled low for it.
Yeah.
We decided to attack it right away.
Oh yeah. Well, it's chatting with evil spirits.
Yeah, so yeah, it's probably not strong enough to pass a threshold on its own,
Yeah.
which is probably why it came down the chimney when she called.
But that's inviting it anyway.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, but these types of spirits like having their little rituals.
Yeah. Well, I say to mom,
Yeah.
that should take care of the problem.
Yeah, she's going to need rest and recovery and probably some medicine from the druid. Some will help.
Yeah.
But yes, obviously she's not going to look. She looks more conscious and aware, but very confused at the moment.
Yeah. She'll recover.
Yeah. And also, needless to say, this spirit would have been feeding off her grief, and that's probably going to stick with her for quite some time from the tragedy.
Yeah. There is that. But
Yes, but yes, it's quite clear that we've solved the problem quite easily, it seems. Yes, needless to say, this spirit was nowhere near as powerful as the one we could have faced.
yeah, that will be a completely different
Yeah.
battle.
Also, it also probably means this thing hasn't been feeding off of her too long because we know these types of fiends tend to grow stronger as their victims grow weaker.
Yeah. Alrighty.
Yeah.
Well, she needs rest.
Yes. Food, rest, care, and probably some medicine.
Yeah.
But the good news is you're pretty confident that now that we've dealt with this thing, in all likelihood, she will recover.
Yeah. Well, I'm certainly not feeding her any more potions.
No, because they won't have any effect, really. True, you've probably given her a good start on her road to recovery with that potion. So it probably did amount to something in the end.
Well, it'll make the recovery quicker, hopefully.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Go back to
Her mother thanks us and thanks us for all we've done. She doesn't have a lot that she can offer for as a reward, unfortunately, and
don't need one.
yeah, she also is probably going to need all the money she can get just to care for her daughter.
I said, does, does she need money? You,
It's needless to say that she says that we've done more than she even hoped possible, so she's definitely not accepting any money from us.
we don't mind.
Yes, but there is a certain way these sorts of things are meant to go. She
Eh,
understands like she's getting help for free, and she basically got a miracle for free. She doesn't she doesn't want our money. She understands that we mean well, but it's like we've already done more than she could have ever hoped.
all right. I
Yeah.
don't want to impose.
No, it's like it's probably a pride thing partially, but
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna go back to Nikolai's
yeah.
and explain to him what was happening to the girl,
Yeah.
and maybe he can help out a little bit. And
He
I
definitely
asked,
will. He's definitely surprised that something like this was going on and he didn't notice.
yeah,
He does admit that he has been preoccupied as of late, so
yeah,
his his guard was down and something evil crept into the village to take advantage of it.
yeah. The other thing I want to ask him is that family okay? Are they hurting? They been able to support themselves?
As well they can be. He says that this community will definitely look after them, considering the tragedy they've suffered and the tragedy that we prevented from happening.
What I'm trying to get to, I guess, in a roundabout way
They're trying
is
to indirectly give them money.
no, no, no. If I, set up a little bit of a fund here for them, would it help to, make sure they get extra food and because she's going to need stuff to recover, obviously.
He's not going to say no, but he doesn't want to impose that on us because like I said, we've done a great deal for this village already, and he's more than willing to do everything in his power to help her recover. His attention is no longer being diverted, so he can focus on that as soon as he
Well,
can.
I want to give him a little extra just to help him through.
All right, how much are you giving?
20 gold pieces.
All right, mark that down. He accepts it. He'll set that aside. You suspect he might also set aside some of the money, the 50 gold you gave him for the mandrake for that as well,
Yeah.
because this is something he's going to take seriously.
Sure.
And he's going to try and mend fences with the Hunter's Lodge and try and help them uh, because it says they meant well, even if they did cause more harm to the village than they intended. But I will try and show them that there are better ways to take care of the village and its
Yes.
people.
Proper hunting practices so that you don't, kill everything in the forest and leave, well, you see what happens.
Yes. Well, he thanks us,
Yeah.
and then I
Well,
assume we go on our way.
well,
Unless you want to stay the night here. It is nighttime, by the way. We could probably rest and then head out in the morning if you want.
is there a tavern in this place?
There would be a tavern or an inn or something along those lines, yeah.
All
Unless
right.
you want to just head out and camp like we've normally been doing.
Nah, a bed would be nice.
Yeah. Well, needless to say, they're more than happy to put us up for free with everything we've done.
After all the money we've given them, it's free. It's included.
You did that yourself. They didn't ask for it.
I know, I know. All right. Before
Yeah.
I go to bed,
All right.
I want to make a potion. I burned through a few.
All right. Just a regular potion?
No, I have Mandrake root now.
You do.
I still have a fair number of regular healing potions. Oh, actually, wait a minute. I can't do that. Well, I can, but I only have 1 point of luck, and I don't have. No, never mind.
You
What I'll
still
do
want to make a
instead.
regular healing potion?
Nope. What I'll do instead. Sleep the night.
Yep.
Get up in the morning. I will prepare enhanced ability,
Yep.
and I'll have my luck back. And I'm going to try and make a greater healing potion using one of the Mandrake roots.
All right. Then we'll roll for that before we wrap up here.
And that will be a 17. So I only need a 15, right?
Yep. So that's enough. You brew a greater healing potion.
Yay! Cool.
All right. So we have breakfast at the inn. We have a night's rest. We're fully refreshed. And we head out from the village. Whose name I forgot to mention the entire time we were here.
It had a name.
It has a name. Yes, I gave it a name. And you're going to find it funny.
What is it?
Blackburn Hamlet.
God.
For
Yeah.
context, there's a place called that like that in Ottawa where we live.
Yeah.
But that's what I called it. Yeah, I forgot to mention it the entire time we were here. That there was no natural point to insert it, unfortunately.
I honestly thought when you said that it was going to end up being called Vilgirth.
No. So we'll be heading we head out, and that's where we're going to call it for tonight.
Cool.
Right.
Thank you very much. Very enjoyable.
Yep. I hope you all enjoyed it, and we'll see you here next time for our next session. In the meantime, thank you for watching, everyone. Please remember to like and subscribe, and please join us here again next time as we continue our adventures in the wilds of Taiga, and as we head towards the Elven lands and whatever else awaits us along the way. Good night, everyone.